Hello and welcome back to our fourth and probably final one of Call of Cthulhu for this second series in our free-forming Cthulhu games. So last week we left Mortimer and he was being taken to a room to be kept, and I visualised he was being bound and tied up and left somewhere. And that's where we left Mortimer after investigating the massacre that occurred at a small village in the Canadian mountains. Mortimer then has tried questioning people in several towns. People were very evasive. In the last town that he went questioning in the surrounding area, they were more open about the fact that there is some form of festival or ritual that occurs every month. But when he kept trying to ask questions about how it worked, people were being very evasive and weren't very happy. Then a couple of farmers told him to leave. He refused. A fight ensued and Mortimer was knocked unconscious, as he's not really a man of fists, is our Mortimer. So he will be tied up in a back room in a town and be waiting somebody to tell him what's going to happen next. That's where our Mortimer is. For those of you who were here last week to see all that, thank you for returning. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much for being a subscriber. It's much appreciated. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Just hit that subscription button. We'll help this grow and be visualized. And basically, hopefully it will reach a point I can make more of these. I can spend a bit more money on some games and maybe get some extra things that we can do. So, and if you like what you're seeing, hit the like, and if you have any comments, stick them down the bottom in the comments section. So what we will then have is, let's have Mortimer is going to come around. He's been knocked unconscious. He's going to come around and he is tied up somewhere. Now our mythos was, what was our mythos last week? 19. I think we can quite easily, as this was termed I think this was an attempt on your life. I think this was an attempt on his life. That could be termed as, let's call that petrifying. That puts our mythos to 29. Our wonderful Mortimer needs to make a sanity check against 52. 52, he makes his san check. So he doesn't lose, so he loses 3 points of san, taking him down to 59. And Mortimer will come around and he is in a small back room. Shall we say, let's see, is there, let's lean towards a yes. Is there a window in this room? Yes, so there's a window. I was going to say there's a small window, but let's see. Is this window big enough for Mortimer to crawl to leave through? Very much no. Very, 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 very much no. It's a tiny, tiny window. So it's a small little window, almost an air vent. So is this more of a cupboard? We have a yes. So basically he's locked in, so it's a small cupboard. So he's been locked in a small cupboard. Is he on a chair or is he on the floor? So is he on a chair? No, so he's on the floor. No chair, on the floor. So Mortimer awakens, he's in a small cupboard. He's on the floor, tied up with a small window. Let's see. It's early in the piece if it is ritual, because we've had one just recently in the other places. So we're only a few days out at the beginning of the month. So I would lean very much towards a no. Does he still have his clothes on? Very much towards a yes. I want him to still have his clothes on, which is already a yes. So we don't need to change that. So yes, so his clothes is in there. He's petrified. So let's roll for. We could roll development downtime. No, I've got a better thing. So what we're going to have is we will have. He was knocked unconscious, which means he's unconscious, which means he is potentially asleep. So let's have downtime. Let's do it as a downtime roll. We have plus 29 to this, which is a downtime disturbance. Plus 29 which would give us 9 and 9, 38, which is 98. A potentially shocking disturbance. Go to the dice roll table, which is percentage. 11, you hear something, the auditory effects table. Okay, so whilst he is unconscious, Mortimer will be hearing something. Spooky tables, auditory effects, 29, screaming, coming from 20, outside. I'm going to roll a couple of verbs and we're going to stick this into a dream that Mortimer is going to have. Whilst Mortimer is unconscious, he's going to have a dream. Let's see if it is a prothetic dream. So it's 142. Decree. 488. Whittle. 372. Preach. Okay, so I think using some of the words that we've already rolled previously and using this, that whilst Mortimer is unconscious, Mortimer dreams that he is still bound, but he is being carried along on the shoulders of the people of the town. Carried on the shoulders of the people of the town. They are all naked. They are all sky-clad. And he's being carried around the town, and although the town is lit by torches, there is a dark, ominous air in the place. Mortimer is then carried to a central area of the village, and all the time So I'm leaning towards a no for this. Does he want to escape? Very much not. All the time, he very much wants to be there. Okay, this actually works with what I was thinking over the week. He very much wants to be there. He is glad that he is there. He reaches the centre of town, and what was her name? There was a person that he spoke to. So the person he spoke to, which I can't remember what their name was. I didn't write it down. I think it was a little old woman who gave him some information, but not much. She is standing there in the position of head priest or head priestess, and begins to preach to the crowd, the huge crowd that is gathered in the town square. And whilst there, now we've got whittle. Now what whittle makes me thinking of is, of course, whittling away wood. Now one of the things you do to whittle away wood is to make a fire stick, which I might stick up there what a fire stick looks like. That involves curving wood. So that would then involve some sort of pyre or fire, a pyre, as in what they would burn a witch on. And Mortimer, in his dream self, did I say he was naked? Yes, skyclad. Is placed on the pyre, and he's more than happy to be there. And the priestess at the front is talking about how, so we've got decree and preach. So she's preaching the law that they must follow. And the law is that the willing sacrifice must sit and give themselves. What did we have? Because we had some other thing. I remember words because I was reading over. Oh, it was barter. It wasn't give, it was barter. We've got infringe - parley, barter. They must give themselves, they must barter themselves to the, I've got the word, let's do a verb, to the terrifying. So we've got, no lie, that was the word terrifying. To the terrifying, but she says it in an awe-inspiring way. The terrifying, Come on, another good one, which is 36. The terrifying 36. Nah, auction's no good. The terrifying, we'll call it darkness. The darkness. The terrifying darkness. She says in an almost reverent way, we are here. We are here to bid thanks to our sacrifice who willingly gives themselves to the fire, willingly gives themselves to the terrifying darkness that encompasses us and looks after us and must be entertained by us. We willingly thank the willing sacrifice for giving his life to us and giving his life to sustain our village. Thank you. And some people walk forwards with burning torches, and they start to reach forward to the burning torches, and Mortimer starts to feel the heat encroaching upon him. I'm going to do a sand check. No, he fails. So we will have that as being terrifying, which is a D4 plus 1, which is 2 points. So he goes to 57. And here our mythos goes to 34. And the flames, he can feel the heat and the flames creeping up. And he begins to feel, let's make him make another sand check. 18, no, he passes, so he maintains himself. He still wants to be there. He needs to be there. He has to be there. He needs to be there. And then there's a click and a door opens and Mortimer wakes with a start as, what was his name? Michael Artrese. Michael Artrese steps into the room. Oh, there. Hello there, sir. I did try and get you to leave. He's carrying a tray with some food. Now, you've been asleep for a while now. The doctor says that you'll be okay, but that bang on the head that you got from old Tommy, he's got a big fist on him. If you'd have only left, sir. If you'd have only left. Now we have to keep you here. We've got to just keep you here for a while, but it's fine. We'll feed you and everything. Now, I've got some soup for you, and I will feed you. Now, you just sit there and you eat. So, he's going to attempt to feed him. Education 65, 67. Mortimer is going to foolishly refuse to eat. Now, sir, I've warned you, you should eat. He refuses. Mortimer is going to attempt to charm. He's going to be under. He's going to need to get under 15. No, 48. Nope. Not even under half. So Michael Artrese will. Is he? I'm going to lean towards a yes. Will he just give up and leave? Yes. So Michael is going to attempt to feed him and leave. We will have, let's do another roll on our story, and then we're going to give Mortimer a chance to actually escape. 03, which would be 37. 37 a development. All right. Let's see if we can interpret a development. 36, which is 70. You find, observe, hear something that tests your sanity. Make 4 rolls on the verbs table, then refer to the mythos table to gauge the appropriate level of the event. All right, we could do that, but okay. So we will have the a few days have passed. And Mortimer has regained his health. He has still had the nightmares, so I'm going to give him 3 sand checks, because 3 days, we'll say 3 days has passed. 3 sand checks. For every pass, he loses 1 sand. For every fail, he'll lose a D4 sand. So 57, so that's a foul. He loses 3, putting in 4, 5, 6, 54. So he starts to be fed. But he's not really being helpful. 450. And another failure. 3. So he's down to 47 sanity. It's starting to wear upon his nerves. Mortimer is becoming frayed and unsure. He isn't sleeping well at all. He's becoming sleep deprived as he's aching and he's hurting being in this position, but they're always being polite. It's always Michael who comes. He doesn't see anyone else, and Michael he's now started to be fed by Michael because he's just he's losing it, and he is hearing some noise beginning outside. So if we've got several days have passed, we were on the midday, so night of the 6th, so the next day would have been the 6th. So it's about the 12th. Let's say it's about the 12th of August, 1923. And Michael has been, Mortimer has been tied up in here for quite a few days now. He's being fed and he's being kept quite well, but he can hear stuff going on outside. And he keeps having that dream, that reoccurring dream about being moved through the town. And sometimes there's a very dark presence he can feel, and sometimes there isn't. And and he is in here at this day. He's had enough. He's feeling strong enough that he's going to attempt to escape from his binds, which we will give him a... Is there an escapology roll? Let's give him a dodge roll. I can tell you what, I will give him an idea roll to see if he can see something laying around that he could use, or maybe that he could try and get. Is there a sleight of hand? Yeah, sleight of hand. All right, let's give him a spot hidden. Spot hidden. Can he spot something in this room that he can use to cut his binds or get his binds off? 40. Okay, yes, he spots something. Can he manipulate it to get it into his hands to attempt to do something with? We will use up all of his luck to do this if need be. 60. His sleight of hands is 10, so that would be taking it down to a 10, which means it's 50. He's only got 48 luck left, so he's not able to do that. So he can see something, but he can't burn it down that far. So what can he try and do? All right, so he's been here 6 days. I'm going to make him make a strength check. If he can make 2 strength checks, we can say that he's weakened the bonds and he can take them off. 49, no. So he can't. 14, yeah, all right, one more chance. 99, definitely not. Okay, so he's been attempting to loosen his bonds and those won't come off. And he's attempting to do so, but you can hear something going on outside and there's this small window and he just can't get to it. So maybe, let's see if he can turn, he's in a cupboard, maybe there's a bucket he can turn upside down or a box he can turn upside down. So he's got a luck of 48. Let's see if he can make a luck roll. If you can make a luck roll, there's something you can turn upside down. No, 85. No, there's nothing there you can turn upside down. There's stuff going on outside, and this is meant to be, what do we had, you find, observe, hear something to test your sanity. So he keeps having that dream. He keeps having that dream, and it's a terrifying dream about the fire and the sacrifice, and he can hear something going on outside. And then Michael comes the night of the 12th, and Michael is bringing food. Oh, sir, you're gonna eat again, sir? Yes, I will eat. I'm sorry that I was spitting the food out to start off with, Michael. I didn't mean to do that. It's all right, sir. Don't you worry. Everything's going to be fine. We just are going to need to explain some things to you, and the priestess will do that. The priestess? Yes, sir. You've only seen me up until now, but the priestess thinks you're ready to have explained because we've started doing the stuff outside. Yes, Michael. I can hear that there's things going on outside. What is it? Well, sir, I'm not sure that I should tell you what's going on outside, to be honest, sir. 26, all right. That's below his charm. Is it below what's his fast talk? 15, it's close to. And his persuade, 10, nowhere near. But he did have charm. All right, sir. We're building the pyre. The pyre that we need to do. We need to set fire to it at a certain point in the festival, sir. There's a certain thing that needs to happen. And this is what then will shock Mortimer, because it's what he's been dreaming about. 75, which fails. So that would be the let's drive. I think we might end up driving him insane. That's the petrifying, which means he fails. So we'll knock that up by 10 to go to the mythos to 44. Let's drive him insane. And then we've got a D6, so a 6, which puts him down to 41 sanity. Pyre? You're not going to sacrifice me, Michael. I'm not going to be a sacrifice. Now, sir, you calm down and you wait until the priest comes. I don't want to talk about this at all with you. Do you understand? You're going to eat your dinner, and that's going to be that. And we'll see you in the morning. So Michael will attempt to feed him. Mortimer will refuse. Michael will get angry. That's it, sir. I'm going to leave you into darkness. He'll turn the light off, close the door. Here's a clicking, and then we will do a development, which I think we know where this is going. So we've got plus 44, which is off the table, which is a dice roll. 89. Something happens. Random event table. Mythos points. These events subtly scale with intensity. Add the current mythos points. So we've got 44 plus, which would be 7, which is 117. Alright, a mythos creature appears, terrifying to behold. Use QA rolls to determine the nature of the beast and its current disposition. Also, if it makes no sense for it to be there, then perhaps it is an hallucination. Okay, so as Michael settles to go to sleep, there's faint moonlight that comes through. There's a faint moonlight that comes through the small window and just about illuminates the small room he is. As darkness and time ticks on, he can't tell what the time is because his hands, which are hurting because they've been in a bad position, bound behind his back, begin to hurt even more. The sleep begins to start to overcome Michael as Michael feels, what did Michael feel? He feels, so what's that, 460. Terrifying, nice. Mortimer slowly gets a terrifying feeling overcomes him. 457. Okay, that's taunt. Okay, Michael gets this terrifying feeling, it overcomes him. And then he feels this dark presence, this energy begin to fill the tiny space that he's in. And it's suffocating and it's overpowering and overbearing as he feels it pushing against him. He is physically slid across the floor, just the bare inches to be against the wall. Empty pots and boxes clatter to the ground as he hits the shelves that are against him, as he feels this presence begin to occupy and squeeze into the room from the gaps under the door, from the gaps in the window, from the bricks, the spaces between the bricks, the empty spaces between the tiny atoms within the bricks. All of it just seeps into this room, pushing him against the wall, overbearing him, taunting him with the air that he did have to breathe, squeezing against his chest as he lays there, wanting to scream, but the dark, ominous force enters his mouth. He can feel it inside him, growing, pushing against his innards, pushing against his guts, occupying every inch of his body, stealing the breath from his lungs, overbearing and overcoming him. This is the sand check. Oh, he makes it. Maintaining his disposition, but 99 for a con check. His breath is stolen from him. The fear and the tears run from his eyes as the space just is occupied. The whole of the space around him is occupied and he passes out. 13th of August, 1923. He can't keep a journal now, can he? But he will talk to himself. Last night something came to me. It forced everywhere around me. It violated me. The tears fell from my face but could go nowhere as it occupied every inch of this small cupboard I have been in for weeks. I can taste it. I can feel it in my body and feel it in my cells. It taunted me with its terrifying power. It could have shredded me. Now I know how they died. It entered them and then it ripped them apart. This isn't a creature, this is something else. I didn't see anything, it was just a darkness covered the room, engulfed my eyes, engulfed my vision. I don't know what's going to happen next. So we'll do a story direction, just for the giggles. What did we have? 44, so we have 50, 63. We have danger, which I think he already is in. 86. This is the mythos creature. All right. So what we're going to have is we're going to have the priestess will come to Mortimer, and the priestess is going to come to Mortimer on the morning of the 13th, and the door will open, and clad in a floral, ankle length, very prim school teacher type dress with curly hair is the woman that Mortimer spoke to. Let's grab a name. David. We'll call her David. Mrs. Davis. Mrs. Davis. Mrs. Davis will come, and she is the priestess who gave the speech in the dream, and he has been seeing her every night in his dreams, and every night he's been terrified as she says why he needs to be the willing sacrifice and why in his dreams. Hello there, Mortimer. I'm afraid I've come to speak to you about something we're going to have to ask you to do. I'm not going to be a sacrifice. Well, are you sure? It's something that we need for the town. It's something we've been doing for a long time. It's part of our ritual, our process, how we keep going. 93. He's point blank refusing. He's now refusing to talk. Well, we have 2 nights left before we need to perform our service, our thanks to the mountains and our thanks to nature for allowing the bounteous crops that continue. I'm sure that you could see your way to helping. We'll make you a special meal, and we're going to request that you eat all of it. Do you understand? All right, he's going to go at this point. He's failed his sanity check. He's going to start shouting and screaming, which I'm not going to do. He's going to start shouting, swearing, screaming, demanding to be let go, insulting her. Now, Mortimer, please don't speak to me like that. Michael, could you lock the door, please? And she'll step back and the door will get locked. And Mortimer will be left on his own for the... Is he going to be left on his own until the night of the ritual? Leaning towards a yes. Yes, so already a yes. So nobody then comes to Mortimer. Mortimer is screaming. Mortimer's going to do... So he's got a luck. So he's going to attempt to escape again. We have a sleight of hands of 10. He's going to need to roll under his sleight of hands to be able to get these bonds off. It's 20. He could actually do it. He's going to spend 10, taking him to 38 luck points. So this is the night that he can hear. There's lots of activity outside. He can't go on anymore. He hasn't slept. Let's take off 6. He's on 35 sanity as he's starting to be frayed. He's hardly eaten, but he's managed to get the bonds off, maybe because he's lost so much weight from not eating properly. All right, next is, so he's got 38 luck. Next is, he's going to try to spot, and it's got to be under half, there's something in here that he could use to get the door open, because there's not much light. 15, okay? So he has found a strip of thin metal that he might be able to use to wedge the lock open. So he found that because he rolled under his spot hidden, which was a 27. Now he's got a luck of 38. He's going to have to roll under his luck to get the door open because he's got a locksmith of 1. So to get the door open, he's going to have to burn luck. 13. All right. So it's the night before. Mortimer is in the room. He's terrified. He's lost weight. His clothes are now dirty. He's been laying in his... How would he have gone to the toilet? Oh, they're not bad, but like they would have helped him, but still there'd have been mess. And so he smells of body, and opens the door, and he's managed to get the cupboard door open. So where would he be? Upstairs, downstairs? Is he upstairs? So I'm imagining a two floor small cottage. Is he upstairs? So that would cancel that. No. So he's downstairs. So if he's downstairs, it's a small cupboard in the kitchen. So he opens up. There's a cupboard. He's been in a cupboard. There's a door to the left, a door to the right. The door to the left is open. The door to the right is short door, which is also open. There's a short kitchen to his left, rather. And I'm imagining a place called Jane Cottage where we stayed in Hobart at Christmas. To the right, there's some sort of bathroom with a tiled floor, but there's a door that goes out. He can see in the bathroom, and he can hear some noise from the front of the house, which is past a very, very small kitchen. It's quite a small little kitchen, maybe about 5 foot by 4 foot. Small kitchen. It was a really small kitchen. It's a lovely house, Jane Cottage in Hobart. And he can hear some noise from the front of the house, and if he can roll luck, if he rolls under his luck of 38, then he can hear them coming, otherwise they see he's escaped. No. So as he can see that they're coming through the toilet, he can see Michael and Mrs. Davis are starting to walk towards the door, as he will turn and he's going to run for the door in the bathroom, which I will give him a dodge roll. So he's aching. So I'll be kind and just let him have his dodge, which is 45, otherwise he might slip on the kitchen floor. 04, okay. So he's about to trip on, it's an uneven tiles in the bathroom floor, like old stone flagstones, though he will just catch his footing as he gets to the back door and bashes against it with his shoulder. Let's make him make a strength roll. No, so he hits the door and the door won't open. Luck, 18, yeah. Then he tries the handle and the door opens, as you can hear Michael shouting, "Sir, don't you get away! Don't you get away, sir!" And the priestess calling, "Mortimer, we can't let you go. We need you. You can't not do this." And Mortimer is going to escape. The church clock is going to strike 11 p.m. At this point. So it's dark outside, it's night time. Clearly Mortimer can see it's night time. It's 11 p.m. And Mortimer is going to small backyard that Mortimer is going to run from the bathroom door. There's a small back courtyard where to the right hand side there's a small bird, little coop for keeping birds. And Mortimer is terrified. There's smoke rising from a torch, which is on the top of the wall to the left-hand side of him, as there's a small courtyard, maybe 4 foot, with a little garden and a small step which raises against a brick wall, as Mortimer can hear behind him the heavy boots of Michael Artrice, as he starts running towards to try and catch Mortimer. Mortimer with... will he have shoes on? Will he have shoes on, or will he be barefoot? Does he have shoes on? It's complicated. He's got one shoe on. He's got one of his shoes on, and one of his shoes has come off. And Mortimer is going to attempt. So we'll give him a whatever the equivalent of a. I don't know if you do this. A bane. So the highest of these two, as he's going to roll dex to attempt to get over the wall. His dex is 60. What we got? We got a 6 and a 6. 66. All right. So I'm going to burn 8 luck to make it definitely underneath. So he's got 30. He's now got 30 luck. So that will then take it underneath the 60 to give him his dex, to allow him to scrabble up to the top of the wall. As he gets to the top of the wall, he can see there's a house next door, and you can see from the top of the wall across past the front of the house next door and across the streets. In the main street that's running down towards the main square, he can see that a large collection of the inhabitants of the village are moving down carrying torches. They all seem to be quite excited and quite happy, and all of them are without clothing. Everybody is naked. As Simon stands at the top of the wall, does someone notice him? So we'll make stealth 50%. Oh, 9. No one notices him. He's really... And Michael comes now through the... let's do him... no, he fails. So he's frozen a bit. Let's lose him D4. Okay, 31. He's now on 31 sanity. So he's frozen as Michael comes behind, and Michael is running across. Michael needs to make a dex check. Let's give Michael less dex. Let's give Michael 40 dex. 78, definitely not. Michael trips over on the steps and starts swearing. Get down from there, sir. You can't get away. That won't work. It won't help us at all. The same thing will happen to us if you don't stand here and help us. Michael Mortimer is then going to try jumping down. We'll give him a dodge. 45, 22. He's rolling amazingly. Mortimer will drop down and start to run. As he drops down, Michael is going to scream for help. He's going to shout for help. Let's give him a... What should we do that for him? So making sure he can shout. Size. Let's give him a size of 70. 02. Michael has got a voice like a foghorn as he starts to scream for... He starts to shout out. He's got away. You have to stop him. Help, help. Let's roll Mortimer's luck. 51, fouling. So people start to hear that, and a few people start to run. They can't run very fast because they're all naked and barefoot. So they start to run forwards as Michael he begins to run. So let's say Michael is going to begin to run around hiding. So Michael is going to start to hide, and we're going to move the clock on half an hour. And we're going to just do 2 half-an-hour blocks and see if he can keep hiding and running and hiding. He might survive this. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to survive and get out. So if Michael is going to start chasing, people in the village are now chasing Mortimer. Mortimer is trying to hide in gardens, and Mortimer is going to try and get out of the village and run. So the clock has ticked on to the half past. As he's continuing to let's do luck. I'll make him do a luck roll. If he succeeds in the luck roll, he can do a dodge roll, and we'll say that he's at the edge of the town. He's made his luck roll. Now he's got to make a dodge roll. He's the edge of town, otherwise he's getting close to the edge of the town. Oh, 9. Okay, so people have nearly caught him. So Mortimer has stripped off one of his shoes, so as he's not making any noise. He's moving as stealthily as he can. What's his stealth? Stealth is 50. 05. He's hiding in bushes. He's hiding behind horses and carts. He's already dirty, but he's covered in mud. He's covered in filth. He is. Let's do sanity. 99, failing, because he's terrified, D6, 6. So he's down to 25 san. He's at the frayed edges of his ability to hold what's going on. He's at the frayed edges as he reaches the edge of the town. So that was 11:30. So the clock is ticking on there. He can hear frantic. Let's make him write a... where's listen? Listen, it's only 20%. 18. Okay, so he can hear the begging. They're begging him to come back. They're calling out and begging, come back. We need you. All in French, of course. We need you. Oh, I said make him French. 65. No, he can't understand that bit. It's beyond him, but he can hear from the tone of voice. He can't hear what they're saying, but he hears from the tone of voice, and he can understand that they need him to come back. And will he come back? Sanity says 15. No, he's not. He's not going back. He's not going back. At the edge of the town, he's standing at the edge of the town. Let's knock it on to 12. At the edge of the town, okay, so he gets to the edge of the town. There's a sign saying, welcome traveller, come rest. And he turns there as he can see the torches frantically running around. People are frantically trying to search for him everywhere. As Mortimer turns and leaves and begins to exit at speed across country, as he can hear the church clock bell strike. Not church, there's no church in town. As he can hear the town square clock strike 12, there is a pressure that sweeps over Mortimer, knocking him to his feet, as he can feel an overwhelming pressure push all the way around. 05, it makes his sanity. He stays conscious as he can feel this pushing towards the town, and then he just hears screams. Screams upon screams upon screams that last for 15, 20, 25, half an hour. There's just screaming. He can hear all voices. All the voices are screaming. Nothing isn't screaming. Mortimer starts to scream. He buries his face into the muddy soil of the field where he is, and he screams into the earth as all that he can hear is just encompassing over him. Let's make him lose another 6. He's on 19 sanity. He is, and there he remains screaming and screaming until the next day, when a delivery van comes to deliver to the town, and the man is shocked to see the decimation and the butchery that has occurred, and all that is left is a man covered in mud, terrified and screaming and never able to sleep again. As Mortimer survived whatever this force was that still stays in the mountains and still is there looking after those who worship it and who sacrifice to it. But Mortimer won't sleep again. Now, I'm not too sure how that went. It kind of ended in a way where a lot of the Choose Your Own Adventure ones I've played have ended. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And poor old Mortimer Brooke is now a broken man. We might try doing that again, but I quite enjoy that. Again, thank you very much to Paul Bimler for writing this book. Paul Bimler, awesome book. Thank you very much for seeing through to this point. I don't know what we're going to do next week, but we'll leave it there for poor Mortimer, who has been driven insane by investigating those things man was not supposed to know. See you again next week. Goodbye.